You know, with AI getting smarter and more powerful every single day, there's this question. It used to feel like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but now it's becoming incredibly real.
I mean, what really makes us different? What is that core, essential thing, that spark, that separates our consciousness from even the most advanced artificial intelligence? We've heard all the answers from computer scientists and philosophers, but today we're going to explore this from a completely different angle.
Specifically, we're going to dive into a Christian theological perspective that basically reframes the entire debate. It moves way beyond just processing power and capabilities to something much, much more fundamental. And this whole perspective really hinges on one powerful core distinction: the massive difference between being created and being generated. So, the central argument is this: humans are understood as created beings with an inherent purpose and essence baked right in. AI, on the other hand, no matter how complex it gets, is a tool that we generate. And look, this isn't just playing with words. This is the entire foundation of the argument. And this distinction has some pretty profound implications. In this theological view, humans are said to have something called the imago Dei, which is Latin for the image of God. This means we have these inherent qualities like a will of our own, moral responsibility, and a spirit. AI, by contrast, is just a powerful mimic. It generates output based on algorithms, but it can't ever truly possess these intrinsic traits. So this concept of imago Dei is absolutely central to the whole thing. It's the idea that humans are unique because we reflect the nature of a creator. We're gifted with will, a spirit, and the capacity for real moral choice. And this, right here, is seen as the unbridgeable gap between us and any form of AI. Okay, so if we accept this distinction between created and generated, what does that actually mean for our place in this increasingly digital world? Well, that's what we're going to explore right now. And here you can actually see a glimpse of the source material that inspired all this. Its central argument, right from the very beginning, is this fundamental distinction. Humans are created, while AI is generated. Literally everything else flows from that one single point. This sets up a really clear hierarchy of responsibility. If God is the creator, then humanity's role isn't to be a competitor, but a steward, a manager. We've been entrusted with creation. And this idea of stewardship is connected directly to ancient texts, like in Genesis, which gives humanity a mandate to rule over the earth. But in the 21st century context, this framework says that responsibility extends to everything we make, including our most powerful technologies, like AI. This brings us to a really critical question. If we're the stewards of AI, what are our responsibilities? How are we supposed to manage this incredibly powerful tool ethically? The framework proposes a timeless ethical guidepost: love thy neighbor. But when you try to apply that ancient principle to artificial intelligence, it forces us to confront some very modern and very urgent challenges. I mean, loving our neighbor in the age of AI means we have to ask some tough questions. Are our AI systems designed to protect the vulnerable, or will they get left behind? Is AI going to close the digital divide or make it even wider? Are we building tools for connection or just new tools for surveillance and control? And will our algorithms reflect our best hopes for humanity, or just amplify our worst biases? And this brings us to a really profound point. In a world where AI can outperform us in more and more tasks, writing, coding, analyzing data, it's so easy to feel like our own value is diminishing. But this perspective argues that's completely the wrong way to measure our worth. Our value isn't tied to our productivity or measured against a machine. In this view, human value is inherent. It's absolute, because it comes from a single source, being created in the imago Dei. An AI can be more efficient, sure, but it can never, ever possess that kind of intrinsic worth. So where does all this leave us? Let's boil it all down to the key takeaways from this whole theological framework. Here's the first powerful takeaway. We have to separate ability from essence. AI will undoubtedly surpass us in countless abilities, but our core essence, our spirit, our consciousness, our capacity for love and moral choice, that remains uniquely human. And this is the anchor in a storm of technological change. It's a huge reminder that our worth isn't something we earn through performance, it's something we are given. And that's a pretty radical idea in a world that is so obsessed with metrics and output. And finally, this leaves us with a provocative charge for the future. The ultimate purpose of AI shouldn't be to replace us or to be some idol we worship. Instead, it should just be a tool that we, as responsible stewards, use to build a better, more just, and more loving world. So the final question isn't really what AI can do, it's what we will choose to do with it.